There's an eel, you can eat it. You know, I'm eating something in South Africa, and I told them to order because I ate it before. It was a fish dish, like, and I said you could. So I asked one of them, actually, what is this I'm eating? He says, I think it's eel. I said, well, I ain't too happy about eating eels, so I just set it aside. And I didn't order that no more. Not that it didn't taste all right, it's fine, but I'm sure snakes and all that tastes good if you cook it right. But anyway, so here we are. They said we can get freezer containers, freeze them real quick. All the catfish and other stuff that we don't eat, we could freeze them and maybe it was all these kind of proposals. You know what I mean? A big freezer thing full of, that's a lot of money that Negroes can make. All kind of schemes like that. So the thing about it was, I give you an example, in 1984, that Quds demonstration in LA, boy, it was a good one. But they had police marching 8 deep, you know what I mean? And then you look up on that street up there, like, in LA, the streets run parallel to So you look up on that street, and there's the police. And you look up on that street, and there's the police. Then there was a group of brothers in LA, and there was a group of brothers in Oakland that had left this place called Baitul Deen. Somebody got killed in the swimming pool, and they all came out to Oakland. A long story, and their job was the children to recite, imagine those years, recite beautiful poetry and everything, poetry and Quranic recitation. That was big then. And it would win the hearts of the Iranians, and they would cut us off from Iranians. It didn't work. In fact, it drew us closer together because they could smell what they, later on, the guy collected all the welfare checks. All ladies was on welfare, of course. They collected all the welfare checks, and he run off. That was just a scheme, so everybody had to leave. In other words, they gave him an exit, a government exit. Okay. Now, this stuff I'm talking about started way back then. So anytime we talk about something now, this is not new. It's been going on. It's the 55th year of the cycle, the same repetitive cycle. Okay, so anyway, way up in 86 or something, when they was stealing all my stuff, the government, I would talk to some of the brothers. I said, a lot of stuff going on around here is not right. And they said, well, we can't be with one group of African Americans against another. We have to be neutral. And how do you know what to say? I said, well, the only reason I know because I'm sitting there with them and they saying, we're going to do this to the Iranians, we're going to do this. Because I'm a Negro, so they figured, and y'all would probably know some of the people, Imam so-and-so, from LA, from right there on the strip. Shoot. Hey, man, if you run across a good Muslim, would you introduce them to me? If anybody run across one that's not telling on everybody. That's just one. That's all I want to be. It's okay. So even when they would go back to Iran, I would talk to them and say, yeah, maybe we could try a little heat. It's getting a little chill, see what happened. But anyway, I knew who they was because they were African American, and they was trying to drag me into the scheme against the Iranians. I said, hey, this is our brothers. I ain't doing that. I mean, I didn't tell them that. I just, I'll think about it. Because I wanted to keep getting information. And come to find out that finally I had to tell the brothers, we had a big conference in Canada, the one the year after the other. And they say we're trying to have the meeting, the unity meeting. Here's what the unity meeting was. If the Negroes can get themselves together, there is a hint at, because it would always be one of the Imam's representatives there. And the idea is we can't support one group in America. We have to support a movement. And them Negroes would make sure they would start fitna at every different, I said, so they came. Now, the Iranians trusted me 1,000%. So they came over to my room early this morning after Fajr. They say, Imam Musa, we're going to have the conference now for the Negro conference. I said, I ain't going. Mm-mm. Then they said, they left, they came back, they said, if you don't come, the brothers are not going to have it. In other words, they didn't trust none of the other Negroes. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. And you got to remember what happened here in D.C. When I came here to D.C., the first thing I hinted at it, what Negroes was working for the Iranians. That would tell me who the police was. It didn't make no difference who it was. I couldn't, it don't have nothing to do with that. But, and they come out like that. Some never said they worked for the Iranians, but after a while you'd hear and you'd pick up. So anyway, here's the poor brother on y'all's behalf in the middle. You got Iranians going home and everybody wondering what's happening. And then you got the Negro, that the Negro is not going to support anybody that's not from amongst them, that's not stealing. They're not going to do it. They don't want we having no honest Indians here. No. I don't care whether it was from Panama. I don't care whether it's from the Virgin Islands. I don't care where they was from. They was not and they did not support. And they would actually technically side Negro Islander style harass you. There was only one good one, and that was he just passed away, Yassin Abu Bakr. But Yassin Abu Bakr had a problem. Imam Musa, he wouldn't do it to me. He would do it to me, Imam Jamil, and everybody. We got this going on down there. We got to get some guns, and can you help us get guns? I say, you can't talk like that here. I said, do you know who's in this, who's here? And lo and behold, when he made a move, wherever he got the guns from, they was waiting for him. They was ready. They killed his son that used to go to Howard, didn't they? Hey, you can't, he was a good man, but he wasn't skilled in American counter-colored stuff. He just wasn't down with that. And I'd pull it, I said, man, every time I saw him, that'd be my line. You can't go ask publicly, hey man, I got to get some guns. And he'd do it. He had scared Imam Jamil them to death coming down there because they didn't know him. You know what I mean? Like we did. We had years with him, and he went down there. Shoot, and you know how Imam Jamil was. He mums the word. If you want to ask me about Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, I'm on that. But if you want to know anything about anything else, I don't know any of that.
So basically, they thought that there was one African American Islamic movement. Was that the mistake?
No, no, it wasn't. That's what they were pushing.
Right, right.
Remember Wahda, unity. If you guys can work together, because they knew certain rules. You can't have 3 or 4 different movements. And the Negro knew that too. So my line was, hey, let's pull together on the surface, talk a little unity, and everybody needs help to get this thing and sustain. They were ready to do it, but they didn't. They would do everything to lose the confidence of Iranians. I'm telling you, the big business down there in Houston to destroy it, all of the behavior that the Negro exhibited was confidence destroying behavior. Not only with them, but many others. Okay, they got this one guy. Y'all see him in the paper every now and then. He went over in '82 to get some money from Saudi Arabia for the community, and he came back and bought a red Cadillac. What's his name? That's him. That's him. He from up in New York at that time. Yeah, he was up there. I went to visit the brothers in New York, and yeah, and he was sitting in one of our friendly Masjid. He said, "Yeah, that's so and so. He's hanging around. They threw him out of the community. He was the Imam, and he's just trying to. So we just let him hang around a little bit." So it was a lot of scallywags going around. It was scallywags. Do y'all know what scallywags are? Remember, they had carpetbaggers and scallywags. And they were both almost the same thing. Scallywags. This white folks talk. But these was real live scallywags. I'm telling you. So anyway, I'm going to speed it up. The point was this. Whether the brothers, this is not all of our brothers, but what I could see from around here and what I could see from our brothers in Oakland, they wasn't speaking on my behalf. They were like, for instance, if everybody knew when we was out in Manassas that I'm already sensitive, so you're not going to really eat that salad, are you? You know, like to bring on some paranoia. So I just took it and just to show them. But everybody there are all the important people that for the last 30 years, when they were students, they worked in the Daftar Inn. We did a lot of good stuff together. And the only thing that I didn't like is they wasted it. They wasted it because they wanted somebody to cooperate with them. And I'm sorry. Look, there's right and wrong. You can't cooperate with something like, you just can't do it. At least I ain't made like that. And I didn't. I said, no, I ain't doing that. And we played with them on that for a long time. I don't have time to tell you the details of some of the games we played, but we had to know for sure who we was dealing with. And so I had to find out. For instance, if I went to, let's say, country 2 on a semi-regular basis to do programs, and at that time they might send a little donation back. Right? When I would get home right there in front of Sister Bahia, I would uncover it, not showing off, but yeah, brothers looked out for the brothers on this go round, and then another time, and then another time. So, the head of the daftar, I'm showing you how this stuff is all linked. There's one link. Now, Imam Musa, when da-da-da-da-da happens, don't say nothing to your wife. Yeah, that's what he said. It's Iranian. He don't know nothing about nothing. Why he say it? Because they're all on the same team. They're all on the same team. The